All right, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of Not a Man. Now, if you are not familiar with this game, it is a game that you take a small tribe of humans and you're trying to work through the various eras of mankind, starting at roughly like the Stone Age. Like you'll know a little bit of stoneworking stuff, and you're not like living in a cave, right? But you're still starting out as like a hunter-gatherer society. We have not discovered agriculture. We have not discovered a lot of domestication yet. It's all going to be things that we discover in the game. So going from there, our first thing is we're going to say that we're going to start with a area that we can go with. Now, I really like playing in some of these various areas for a lot of different reasons. Each map is going to be different. It's going to have different challenges, different advantages. I'm going to play here at the River Fork. We are not going to start out as settled. We're going to start as nomads. It's a little extra resources, but it's also a little bit higher difficulty because you start out not having anything. Like, you do not have houses for your people or huts. It can be a little bit more difficult, but it also gives you a little bit more starting control. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to call our settlement Dragonville. What do we think about that? Dragonville? Yeah. And we'll go from there. Now, characters will have names. And there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that we start getting into when we start the game. But I unfortunately cannot change the character name, so if you were rooting for a specific name, I apologize, I won't be able to do that. But we'll start looking into having some series where we can start getting some names going. All right, so immediately I'm going to pause. I'm just going to look around, see what's going on, and you can see we have a river here, we have the river there, so this is the fork in the river that they were talking about. Right off the bat, you can see we've got some animals over here, which is fantastic. And that's the only animals I see off the top. We'll get into that a little bit as we get going here. But first thing we're going to do is we are going to have to have some very basic stuff. Now, as you can see, we have a different set of menus here for the different things that we're going to do. We're going to start off by getting a hearth. Now, that's important because that's how our people are going to eat. Have to have that. Then we're going to get a couple of houses going here. And the reason that's important is because without houses, we won't be able to grow. We won't be able to get more people. We won't have any starting resource storage. We have a hyena right there. Interesting. So those are all important things. Now, I said we were going to have different stats for villagers, and that's totally true. So you can look at any villager, and they're all going to have the same base stats. Their health, how much nutrition, which is their food level, their water level, are they hot, are they cold, their stamina, how tired they are, and their morale. Now, you can't do anything about morale to start with. We have the river, so they will have plenty of water. We have food for now. You can come up here and see in the top left, we have a little bit of cured meat. Not a lot, but we're okay. We're doing okay. Everyone's going to be healthy. You don't start the game with anybody hurt. Temperature is okay. Their stamina is going to be okay. And then this rest, you can only refill that through sleep, which is why we're going to have our houses being built first. And that's where we're going to start the game. Now, we don't start with any sticks, right? Like these things cost sticks and dry skin. We have dry skin. We have dry skin. We don't have stones or sticks. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to find these little rock piles here. Look like that. Those are going to be where we're going to get our stones. We need the stones for our hearth. And then these little things are all bundles of sticks. That's what we're going to need. And we're going to go ahead and place a work order here, but we have a couple of things that are happening all at the same time with this, right? So we can say, okay, how many sticks? 10. We're going to need way more sticks than 10. So let's bump it up to like 30. And we'll have 2 people that we are willing to assign to this area. Now, I don't think there's a max. Oh, it is. There's a max of 5. We're going to go to 2. But the thing we need to also watch for, right, is we only have a certain number of people. So the more things we tell them to do, the higher this workload goes. And that's going to be something that I talk about more as we go through into the game. But generally, you want to keep it around about 60 to 70%. That means people are doing stuff. Your tribe is being productive. But not everybody is trying to do everything at the same time. The other thing we need to do is we told them to gather sticks. We don't have anywhere for those sticks to go. So we're going to need to put down a wood pile. It ain't fancy, but it's something that we will need to be able to collect the sticks so that we can then, in turn, build all the things that we're building. And for right now, we'll just let go. One thing about wood piles, they don't cost anything, so that's a really nice thing for us. And as soon as that is built, we'll be able to start really getting sticks together. As you can see, like, we're already out of storage just because we haven't been able to build anything. So All right, we are going to speed up some time here just to get the resources going and so that people get stuff done. So we have our first knowledge. Now this is a big deal. So knowledge is how we're going to advance, and here is the entirety of the tech tree. Now, doing various things will get us a tech point, building something for the first time, hunting something for the first time, or at set intervals of like 10 or 20 or 100 will also get you tech points. Now, we need tech points to advance our civilization, right? The more that you learn, the better your civilization is going to be, right? So, like, say for example, right now we know how to make spears and like fishing spears out of wood. If we wanted bone, we would need to come up to bone tools. So, like, bone tools will be better than just regular old wood, but we also have to have the tech points to unlock it. So, everything is a progression here. And for right now, we're going to go ahead and jump this up to 4 people. We got people that are just standing around not doing anything. And we got a long way to go before winter. Right, see there, 10 sticks, so repetition. Repetition is a good thing for us. And we are actually going to go ahead and see if we can't fit one in here somewhere. Yeah, we'll have to put one there. And we're going to start getting a little bit of other things going. Just because we're gonna need so much going on here. Okay, so one thing we're also going to look at is what is called Hunter View. Now you can get into this through a couple of different ways, but Tab is generally the easiest, safest. We need to get some food going. Now, there's different levels of color, like green is pretty darn safe, yellow is a little risk, orange is moderate risk, red is the highest risk. It's not just how likely they are to attack you, but how likely they are to fight back, right? So a red creature might be something that attacks you, it might not. A woolly rhino, for instance, won't attack you. But if you try and hunt it, it's going to be very dangerous. It will fight back. Something like a bear, kind of the same deal. But things like wolves, right? Wolves will attack you. They're not very dangerous individually, but they are going to attack you if they get hungry enough and there's not other prey. Same thing with hyenas. Same thing with cave lions. So it's a dangerous world out there going out. So we got to make sure that we're prepared. We also need to make sure that we have food. And food right now is an issue. So we're going to go on our first hunt. Now, the thing we're going to hunt is this wolf right here. It's only one. He's kind of weak by himself. We'll have this person join. Now, this person has been running. You can see their stamina drops, and then it'll slowly go back up. And that's kind of how that works. I know a lot of this is going to seem pretty self-explanatory, but we want to make sure that we're covering those details because they can matter. All right. Now, we just got our first set of 5s. We're going to unlock food drying. And the reason we're going to do that is because that's going to give us long-term a much, much better return on the amount of food longevity that we have, right? So if we come in, look, you can see how long this meat is going to be good with that green bar. Non-dried foods perish faster. So we want that ability to get more food to last longer for the overall sake of the tribe. Now, there's not a lot of eating on a wolf, but it's going to be a whole lot better than nothing. Now, the other thing that we can do, and we're going to start doing this, is we're going to go back into our workplace. And this is one of the benefits of being in this area, is fishing. Fishing is going to let us get a lot more food safety than we would have if it was just hunting. So it is a benefit. The downside of this map is that it can take quite a while to get to and from places with food. So, not always a good thing. Now we gotta watch. This other wolf just got in kind of close. And is not exactly having a lot of nutrition, so. Alright, so one thing we have done is we've gotten all the sticks out of this area. Now we can see there are more sticks over here. But the other thing we can do, and we'll lower this down and be a little bit more sustainable, but you can move it. Not deleting it and having to do it all over again, but we can just move it a little bit. So we'll move it over here and keep our resources going. And, you know, like I said earlier, we ideally we would like to see workload be about 60 to 70%. That's like when you're starting off, you're not likely to have that be sustainable and get all the things done that you need to get done. All right, now summer is here. Now this is a great thing for us because this is going to give us some really, really nice extra food income, right? Like all these fruits, all these berries. While we are low on food, while we can't do a lot of fishing because we only have one fishing spear or harpoon, um, this is going to let us bring in food so our people don't starve. And at the same time, we're slowly building up our ability to get stuff done. So that's fantastic. All right, and as you can see, or maybe you didn't, I don't know. If you, I see it. I like to pay attention a little bit to this stuff. We now have some berries, we now have fish, and now we still have that cured meat. So we just tripled the amount of food that we have, and now we're in decent shape for right now. And we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep catching fish. We're going to keep getting berries and fruit. And that'll sustain us for a little bit while we can get our village up and running a little bit stronger, start getting more equipment going for fishing and so on and so forth. All right, so talking about, dangerous animals. That's a perfect example right there where, it wanted to attack us. It was hungry, and we can't stop it from wanting to get us. Like when they decide they're gonna go, they're gonna go. But what we can do is say, yeah, well, we saw that coming, and that's why we, had everybody really close together. We're not going out and trying to collect stuff way over here or way over here or whatever. So. Now, we've exhausted the sticks over here. It's a bit unfortunate, but as you can see, the ones over here are now back in good shape. So, you're always going to need sticks. And thankfully, they do respawn. Now on this screen, you're going to see a breakdown of a lot of different things. How well our tribe is doing, how famous they are, how many we've got, how many we can have, boys, girls, men, old women, any animals, any tools, transportation, and high specialty items, kind of high specialty for the age anyway. So. Now, if you're wondering what our current goal is we want to get this crafter built When we can do that, we'll be able to start making more equipment, which isn't a massive issue yet, but we will need to get more things like the fishing harpoons, for instance, so that we can capitalize on the resources that we have available to us. The other thing is we'll eventually want to clear out a lot of these trees right here. We don't have the tech for that yet, though, so we're kind of working with what we got. All right, and just like that, we have it. We're going to go ahead and queue up 2 more harpoons, and that'll let us kind of have more than one person fishing at a time, just so we can get that done and get our food increasing. And as you can see, we're starting to have people drying fish so that they go from raw to dried and increase that that good timeline so we can have food for like over winter. So. All right. So they're saying, hey, we don't have anything to do, which is a bit ridiculous, but you know what? That's okay, because that's going to let us do something that we need to do, which is go on a hunt. Hunts are a big deal. We will need to hunt, and the reason we need to hunt is that's our source of everything right now. It gives us food, it gives us materials that we can work with, like those hides, so we can make clothing. It's a big deal. It is a big deal. So we're gonna try and go do a hunt, and it has now come to fall. So we're moving towards a time when we need as much food as we're gonna be able to get. I kind of want to go for that woolly rhino, but we only have 4 people. That could be a serious risk. So we're going to try and be play a little smart and cautious this first year or 2. Yeah. What you'll notice is they're going to come in, they're going to throw those spears. Fantastic. Now we're going to do something a little crazy. We're going to try for that woolly rhino. I said we were going to play cautious, but you know what? I think today we're going to go act like a dragon, like we're the masters of the world here. And you can see now that there's a danger, they crouch down and stuff, so. All right, we did very good. Very good. We now have more than enough tech to get some better stuff. And the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to actually go for our sling. Now, the reason we're going to go for a sling over anything else is its hunting range. There are a lot of things that will try and run away rather than fight you. And we're humans. They're animals. They move really darn quick. So that extra hunting range will mean that we can get in and get where we can hunt them from further and further away, so that they have less likelihood of being able to get away. And they do more damage as well, the slings. So it's definitely worth it. We'll get both of those kills going here, and I think we'll probably also go ahead and put up another food dryer just so that we have the space for all of it. And as you can see, like, we're slowly going down, but that's because they don't know that we're about to have a whole load of meat. So, we're doing good. A little slow the first year, but that's all right. All right. So just like that, we now have 5 more. We reached a milestone, and now we're going to go ahead and get that the bone tools. Next, we'll probably go for the funerary rites just to safeguard a couple of different things. But when we get there, we'll talk about that. For now, let's go ahead and get a storage tent. This is a big deal because what it's going to do is really open up our ability to store things. And that's important. We need to have some ability to store more than just a couple of things here and there. All right, and as you see, our fruit is starting to decay and go away. That happens. It's just that level of, you know, we had food that went bad. We didn't eat it in time. But it sustained us while we got our hunting going, and that was a big deal. So. All right, now the thing that I'm going to put in here is food. Food's a big deal. We will always need more food, no matter what it is. So. All right, and with a stone stockpile, we can now start grabbing and storing some of these rock piles that are a little bit further away, the ones we didn't use immediately, but we know we will need in the future. So. All right, now we're in winter. Now, winter is a big deal. Winter is when things like temperature really start coming into effect for your characters. If you don't have winter clothing, which is the skins outfit, they will get sick, they will die. It's a big deal. So it is something to worry about. And we also have a trader just arrived. Now, traders can do all sorts of good things for you. They also kind of let you know how you're doing, right? So, like, let's say we one of these pulses, right, which are a type of being, I believe. He's saying that's a trade value of 4. That's not bad, but what do we have that's worth 4? Like, okay, we could do 2 of those. That's an even trade. We're not using bone right now. Okay. But, you know, we're also, like, if we wanted, say, funerary rites, that's 100. Like, you want technology, it's expensive, but you can do it. But it also lets us know that, like, okay, we're not very, in some people's minds, we're not very technology advanced. They're trying to give us this. They're trying to give us some basic resources. We'll take the food. We had some issue with that later, so we're just kind of stockpiling some food against the future. But, like, they're also saying, like, yeah, you're not worth a whole lot right now, which we kind of see because our prestige is not very high. Now, our welfare is a lot better than it was, so that's good. But we're not drawing a lot of attention right now as far as like high value items. And that's okay. We are totally fine with that because we have spent the year getting ourselves really just kind of in shape for the future. Making sure everyone has a place to sleep, making sure everyone has food to eat, clothes to wear, and basic tools. So we're doing good, but we're not out to impress anybody right now. I'm going to queue up a couple of slings here just because that's going to be good for our hunting. And I'll throw in about 3 of these bone harpoons just so that we have people that can and will be able to go fishing effectively. Again, fishing is going to be a big deal for this village just to keep us fed. So, and then we'll probably end the episode here at the end of this winter and just see how things go. So. Oh, the other thing I do need to mention is a workplace order. You can do some hunt orders. I don't really like doing hunt orders. I'd rather hunt specific things at specific times. But one thing we will want to do is grab this flint. Now, flint isn't something we use a whole lot in our tribe right now. Just because the only thing we can use it for is our knives that we use to like harvest our hunted animals. We do need it because tools will wear out. Let's see if I can find a tool. Here we go. You see they've got the same bars, durability bars, as like food. So we will need it eventually because tools do break. So better to have it and be able to say, yeah, we're going to get that done. So. And we do have some stuff, so we're going to go ahead and make as well a skull pole, which kind of sounds weird, but I mean, it is what it is. And we'll make those priorities since somebody is sad. I don't know if they're worshiping the ancestors or what, but that's okay. Now, one thing that does irritate me about this game, like you can assign people to do just about anything. You cannot tell them to go make themselves happier. Can't do it. Can't make people happy. So. All right. So we just got one new person. Wasn't a lot, but you know what? One more adult person helps us tremendously. You know what? We don't have a whole lot going on. We need a bone. I did not realize that person was out there by themselves. Well, dadgum. Oh well. We finished it. Wasn't what I was hoping to see, but that's on me. But as you can see, like, one person took out a dangerous animal by themselves rather than needing the whole team. I still generally like to use a whole team just because that keeps it from having where somebody gets attacked like that. But we can already see the benefit of having those slings. Like, she did so much more damage than when the spears were going out. So, but yeah, we'll speed through here on the end of winter and call it there. As always, I do appreciate you guys watching. It's good to see you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And we'll see what we can get up to, what we can make this village. Dragonheart, signing off.